Happy late evening here, my fellow vloggers. It's a good evening here. I had made my bed. I apologize. I had not within the last vlog that I did for this week. Um, we're still talking about social injustice and police interaction. In my last one, I spoke of social injustice and how the fight in Scranton. Another thing I came across today was an editorial an op-ed in the Chicago Tribune regarding social injustice, but yet defunding the police in order to get proper care to people who need it. And while I am totally not for defunding the police, because I believe that we need a police to protect us and to serve us in some capacity other than mental health, we still need a mental health component. Um, Unfortunately, Illinois is one of many states in this great nation of America that does not have the proper crisis care and mobility crisis that we've come accustomed to in other states, such as Pennsylvania. And even here in my county, it's not even as to the par where it needs to be. And I see that firsthand. Um, Also, we need more things like warm lines, more telephonic supports as well, virtual supports. I see that um, our state mental health consumers association, which I am a member of, is now enhancing that in some parts of the state. Hopefully, instead of 3 counties, it goes to all 67 with this, the looming of this pandemic, and that's a whole other thing. But just the looming of this, pandemic that we grow from it and learn from it. Um, Nonetheless, having the police interaction, while it is important, we do need to divert some funds to mental health care. I'm a fierce advocate of mental health awareness, autism awareness, especially, but oftentimes we're the scapegoats of the police, and the police are involved in to solve our problems as a last resort. When there is no crisis or crisis is unavailable to solve the problem, a mobility crisis is unavailable to solve the problem because it's too simple or they don't have somebody to come, or the crisis intervention team, which is a whole nother Memphis model that is instituted in many states that is for severe crises. Um, but um, there needs to be education. Enough said. There needs to be enough education, and I could go on and on about it. And we're back. So, um, Carrie there, he very young Carrie, I might add, just summarized the whole situation of what went down with the whole Stefan thing, and still many years later, people are still in that boat with autism and other disabilities and law enforcement. Um, I've had a couple times on my hand firsthand growing up. One time the police was called here to where I live, and I called. I was trying to seek attention, sort of the bad boy, 16-year-old, almost 16-year-old wanting to seek attention. The police did come. I used the excuse I did not take my medicine. I took my medicine. They complied. They put a report in, and I left. And they left. The second time was when I just turned 20 years old, so that would have been 15 years ago. We had went to a store. I wanted something, a big ticket item that I had saved money for. Um, Something as simple as um, asking something that I thought was grandiose for a store employee to do, but was probably appropriate and probably should have been done. Um, was I got upset and left, and was very abusive to my mother at the time, and very verbally and physically abusive to the point where it was a really grandiose episode, and my mother didn't know what to do, so she called 911. The state police came. The first police officer seemed kind of pushy and was planning all full-heartedly to take me to the psych ward, although I didn't want to because I knew that would be bad. and I didn't want to do it. Um, but the saving grace of God, another officer came, the partner off, the backup officer, which was ironically African American, but that doesn't matter because everybody's equal. But he was very advocating. He said, "You're just having a bad day," and just by the grace of God, we just had cell phones then, and my grandfather brought my father, and we were able to drive home and without a problem. And it was a big learning experience, but that was the last and hopefully only time ever again that I would be involved with law enforcement. But that lies the problem, my friends. There's not proper education on autism or intellectual disabilities or developmental disabilities or any, um, you know, crisis intervention officers I do know get a very limited array of education, and they do go to the psych wards and see people. They go to the facilities and see people, as part of their training, and they go to the and have the proper training, but it's not enough. I believe they need to be at the front. If we don't have police directly per se, interacting with individuals. I know some counties have the police come into their centers and recreation centers and talk. And I think it's a good thing, but we need more education, more advocacy as far as interacting with the law enforcement and understanding it's okay. Um, you know, not to be scared of law enforcement, not to think, oh, what's this person going to do to me? um, what's this officer going to do to me? It's sad, the way social injustice is turned, but we also need to think, um, you know, we're law-abiding citizens, and as long as we have our proper needs and our proper care, there's nothing that they can do, and that's okay. But I think also, back to the mental health piece, we do need more funding for mental health if it's diverted from police, what have you, to tackle the diversion of what the police tackle with the mental health clientele, and spend it further with getting proper education, maybe staffing a warm line, maybe mobilizing and getting proper intervention and care, and this telehealth thing has been a wonderful thing too. And maybe just that may be a nice thing to educate on too. But in reality, we just need more money, and money's hard to come by, folks. We know it is. Government dollars are hard to come by, and we would hope that people write their legislators and ask for proper care. I do know that the National Suicide Crisis Hotline, you will now dial 988 starting in 2022 to get a hold of the National Suicide Hotline, which is a big step. We've come far in that, and that's good, but it's not enough. We need to advocate for more warm lines, staff peers, train peers, get them on the warm lines. We need to get people, to just we need more. We need just need more care, and I think if anything, if evident out of this COVID-19 pandemic, it is just that. It is that mental health is precious, and it's not to be taken lightly. And I can tell you from a fact of myself that you know it's precious, and you don't know what you're going to experience one day or the next, what high or low you're going to face. You don't know what news item's going to set you off. You don't what new government restrictions going to set you off. So just be thinking about it. Write your legislators. I do. You can find anywhere. Just Google your find your legislator, and you'll find them. But you need to, and their stories are appealing, and that's another piece of the advocacy. I handwrite letters. I write letters. I send letters. I just got a about the hungry, and I know that's not about autism, but I sent a letter about people being fed in this pandemic because I think it's important. And I just got a nice letter. I can tell you that Senator Casey, who is a firm mental health advocate, um, United States Senator Casey out of Pennsylvania here, and he's from Scranton, by the way, where I mentioned my last story. But he writes me many letters, and I appreciate every one that he writes, and I'd like to, and maybe I'll just send him a little care package with my business card or something one day, just to let him know that I'm here and we care for him, root root, and So with that, friends, I hope you have a good week. I know this is my second vlog for the week, so I will sign off. Have a good week. Like, follow, and subscribe.